Greetings and welcome to the Campus Life with myself, the Boss Lady Joy Fagute. Now, if you're anything like me, around the beginning stages of the year, you're considering finding some kind of physical relief or perhaps a positive outlet, or you just want to build your fitness journey. And there are various options such as running, going to the gym, options that we'll be exploring a little bit later. But have you ever considered the option that packs a punch? Fights with Insight is a community-based boxing program based in Johannesburg that is all about using boxing to create social impact. And in studio with me today, I'm joined by one of the boxing coaches and boxer himself. It's none other than Stephane Chamba. Welcome to studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're going to talk all things relating to Fights with Insight. But I want to start first with boxing. I joined boxing now, and I used to box a little bit when I was younger, but I can never get into that mindset of like hitting someone, like throwing a punch at a person, you know?
Okay.
So as a boxer, walk me first through where your journey started and how you became a coach at Fights with Insight.
Okay. For me, it starts way back. I joined boxing because I had a very bad childhood. I grew up in an area where there was a lot of violence. Most of you can know it. It's Bertrams. If you know Bertrams, I grew up in that area. So I first came in South Africa in 2014, and I lived in Yeoville for a while. Then we moved to Bertrams. So I lived in Bertrams like my whole primary life. So at first, I joined the wrong people, you know. I joined the wrong people, and I also knew the right people, but I was also with the wrong people. So the wrong people got me in a lot of things in a young age, you know. So my parents realized it, and the right people that I knew, which is Coach Joel and his brother Christian, were the ones that showed me Fight with Insight. And when I came to Fight with Insight, the first day I ran, it was on a Saturday. I was tired, and I came with the worst outfit ever. Jeans.
Oh.
I ran in jeans with my nice shoes.
Ish.
And I remember that day. But the funny thing is that after running, I wanted to come back. Because Coach Luke, as old as he is, he beat me to that run. I never made it. So I kept coming, and then I realized that, no, man, I think I should, start boxing. So I started boxing. I think I officially started boxing in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2016 I started boxing. I started coming to the gym. I started participating, because the other years I was just coming and going. You come, you leave for 6 months, you come back. Yeah, so I started coming continuously. I started going on and on and on and on. And then I also joined soccer. So I was doing boxing and soccer.
Okay.
And then after some while, I realized that I also loved rugby. So I played also rugby and soccer. So I had soccer games on a Saturday afternoon, rugby on a Sunday, boxing on a Saturday sometimes. So I'll balance and know which one do I want to go today first, And then I officially entered the ring 2020 or 2021. I don't remember, but one of those years, that's when I officially entered the ring and I had my first fight. That was the year I had my first fight. And from there, kept boxing, got a few fights, entered the Johannesburg team, the Gauteng team, started competing in different provinces, And then I left soccer. Though I still play it on the street, South African culture, football. So, that's my story. And
wow.
So then if I recall nicely, grade 11. Grade 11 I did a trauma course. So I did a trauma course at school, and it was called Life Sphere Trauma Course, peer counseling, something like that, And then that course, after I did that course, I went to the gym and presented my certificate. And Coach Luke was like, oh, well done. And then he said, you can start coming on Saturdays and observe how they take classes and stuff. So I started observing, and then from there, I became a coach.
Wow, that is so cool. You mentioned something about like trying to balance all three of them all together. How did you go about doing that? Like picking which one is more important for you? I feel like every varsity student struggles with like balancing their key important things in their lives.
Okay, so what I did is that soccer. Soccer, I enjoyed playing soccer because it's fun and it helped me with fitness. You know, in boxing, you need a lot of fitness.
Yeah.
You know, as you can have boxing fitness, but if you don't have running fitness, then your legs will die. So I use soccer, more advantage of my legs, running a lot and, you know, opening up the chest a lot. So I played a lot of soccer. I played more soccer than rugby because rugby was more physical and tackling, you know. And it was in my advantage because I had a mouthpiece, so you also wear a mouthpiece in rugby. I also played the worst position ever for me, which was the right wing. And I also played right wing in soccer. So most of the time, if both tournaments fall in one day, I'll play soccer. I'll go and play soccer. But I'll mostly start with soccer, rugby, boxing, you know, because I was less interested in boxing at the time.
Yeah.
Then as time developed and I got more involved in boxing, then I got in the team because soccer I wasn't getting in the team because I'm not South African and all that. You know, a lot of documentations. So boxing was easier, you know, and then I just stayed in boxing until now. Though I still play soccer,
yes, of course,
and rugby, but it's a hobby now. It's sometimes.
Okay, interesting. You mentioned getting into the ring around 2020, 2021. And I still have to ask that question. It's what I struggle with in my boxing journey. How do you prepare yourself mentally to hit someone? Because you're blocking, and then you have to remember the sequences that you learned during class, and you have to be quick. There's a lot. So what type of mindset goes into a preparation for a boxing match?
Okay, that question. So, for me, my first fight was a very nervous fight. You know, I waited very long for that fight. So, for me, I don't know if I was ready. I wasn't really prepared mentally, but I was prepared physically. I was prepared to fight because I've been waiting, you know, all the training and, you know, so I have to go in the ring. Like, it's my time, you know. Though the nerves are there. You know, when you're nervous, it's hard to breathe in the ring. So what I will say is just, you have to stay calm, you know. Boxing, it's all about composure, you know, composure. As a football player, they also tell you that, composure. You know, you have to stay composed. I think all sports, you have to be composed. Know yourself, stay calm, because the only difference in boxing is that you get punched, you know. And one mistake that everyone makes is they expect to punch and not get punched, and that never happens.
That's me. Why must they hit me back? Come on.
So you should always know that the discipline, the biggest discipline in boxing is most of boxers don't have compassion, and they don't know how to take a punch. You know, once you have compassion, you can take a punch, and can hit back a punch. You know, so if you can hit a punch and get the punch, then you are set to go in the ring. You're good. You know, so. Boxing also helps you to differentiate between your weights and helps you stay fit. That type of disciplines can be applied in your life as well, because especially when it comes to cutting weight, you have to be really disciplined, you know, no kota, amakwinya, you know, those stuff, you have to leave it. Like when some boxers go for championships, there are some boxers who cut like 6 kgs, you know, like I fight 60 kgs. But when I'm walking, on my walking weight, I'm like a 66, 68.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that's a lot of weight.
That you have to cut when you're doing championships.
And amateur boxing is slightly different from professional boxing, because professional boxing, you get a 3 months notice before the fight. We get like, sometimes you get like 2 days notice or 1 day notice. So you'll have to, you know, cut weight, and which is not a joke. It's serious. It's your Vaseline, your plastic. You go for a run. And you have to make sure that you are on weight. And sometimes we fight 3 times, once a day, championships. Or in a week, you can fight twice, you know. The advantage is that you get fights. You get a lot of fights. and you get a lot of experience. So meaning the more experience you get, the more composed you become in the ring, you know, and the more compassionate you become in the ring. That's the number one principle at our gym. We have compassion. Most of our boxers are compassionate. I'm sure when you come to the gym, everyone greets you.
Yes,
everyone
true.
says sorry.
Yeah.
Even if the training was intense,
Yeah.
we get angry at some points, you know. Compassion is very important in a sports like boxing.
Yeah, very true. Wow.
Yeah.
You're talking about Fights with Insights and all the skills that you got from there. Walk us through the history behind it. What inspired a platform like Fights with Insight? What is it all about?
Okay, Fight with Insight started in 2005.
Okay.
You know, so far it's old as it's the same age as me. So that's almost my entire life.
Yeah.
So Fight Insight was built to help kids in the inner city that are going through, that have been sent. Maybe you've been a bully or you've been charged, you know. Yeah, Fight Insight was built for that before. Then over the years, Fight Insight realized that no, there are more boys in the inner city that would like to join, that have more problems that have not been referred to the gym. So a lot of people just started coming in, you know, coming in. We still have the first ever boxer child to come at the gym. Is still at the gym until now.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a lot of guys, and most of the people there are young people, you know. So Fight Inside created that safe space in Hillbrow for the kids of the inner city like us who are having issues outside and come and find a safe space at the gym, you know, because we know the inner city how it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's crime, there's all these things, drugs, absent parents, you know. So we can all relate, you know. We all at a stage have a place where we call home, a second home, you know. So in Fight Inside is our second home. So when things don't go well at the gym, at school, Fight Inside helps, you know. They help with school fees, they help with food on a Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, you know. We have our chef there, Greg, which is a master boxer, white collar boxer. He brings food, he employs the guys, the young guys who finish matric. They get employed into his restaurant. We've got SSCN, which employs people from matric to work at the gym. You know, it's just a great place to be at for young people, you know, like us, who just finished school and don't know what to do. You know, they help us. They get people from varsities to come and give us advice, you know, matric, depression. They help us with all that. So it's a fantastic place.
Wow, that is amazing. You know, varsity students also tend to go through the similar struggles, you know. Some people are moving away from home, coming to varsity. So what if you find yourself as a varsity student who's interested in Fight with Insight, but you know nothing about boxing, or maybe you're not even trying to go pro? Is it okay to still come to Fight with Insight in that aspect?
Yeah, like I said, we don't just do boxing. Yeah. We've got boxing, we've got netball, we've got soccer, we've got tutoring, you know. We get a lot of guys from Vets University who come and help us with tutoring for the kids, with homeworks, help the younger ones in primary with reading, English, you know, maths, project, you know. We have a lot of varsity guys. So we don't just do boxing there. We give up. There's some acting that we do as well in the life skills. We've got life skill program. We've got tutoring. You know, if you love to teach kids, you know, help kids improve in school, you can do that. If you want to do SSCN or you're looking for a place to read, we've got a library there. We've got a computer lab. You can come and do your studies after school. You know, it's a safe space. You know, everyone there is welcome to come. You know, no matter where you're from or what you do, you know. Just come to the gym. It's a safe space. So we have 4 principles.
Okay.
First impression, compassion, consequences to action, and moving forward positively. Okay. So if you apply these 4 principles at the gym and in your life, everything will go well.
So wait, what is impression? What does that one mean?
First impression.
Yeah, first impression.
So the first impression is what you see at the gym.
Oh, okay.
First time you come, we greet you, we give you a tour of the gym.
Yeah.
You know, everyone greets you. No matter how small you are, how young you are, we greet everyone at the gym. And then that's the first impression. Compassion, we are compassionate in anything that we do. Even if, no matter what it is, we say sorry, or if we're boxing and then I drop you, I help you stand up. You know, that is compassion. We don't use our temper. You know, that's compassion. Consequences to action. So every action has a consequence. Like you said, you want to get punched. You want to punch, but you don't want to get punched. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
As much as you punch, you'd also get punched. And then you move forward positively. So if all these three,
Wow.
you move forward positively, which is the fourth one.
Wow, okay, that's amazing. I want to find out from you, what is a skill that you learned from Fights with Insights? There's obviously so many of them, but what's one that stands out for you where you're like, this skill that I gained through Fight with Insights is something that I use and is so important in my day-to-day life today?
Okay, one thing, okay, I'll say two.
Okay.
One, the first one is that the one skill that I realized that I have, it's boxing, obvious. So as a boxer, obvious, I know I can't be fighting outside because number one, I've got boxing skills,
Yes.
which is very dangerous. So I know when I get into a fight, I know I can hit you in the right spot
Yeah.
that can end everything. So I avoid fighting. And number two, I've learned composure, you know. Whenever something happens, I just learn to be composed. I just compose myself and take it in and deal with it in another way. you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys really engage and interact with a variety of students. From, I don't even think I know the age of the smallest person that was there, but you have different classes and different age groups for them. And the skills that are taught there, do they differ? Like the skills that we teach the young ones, but also the skills that are taught to the older ones? Or is it the same across the board?
Well, we do have different classes. From age to, we also have autism classes for children with autism. So the younger classes, you know, it's boxing, but it's in a playful way. You know, so maybe we'll be throwing punches and we'll be counting who gets the most punches on the bag, you know.
Yeah.
It's more fun compared to the others. And then the older you get, you know, the more serious it becomes, you know. And the more competitive you get, the more serious it becomes because it's not a joke in the ring. So our youngest competitive boxer now is 9 years old.
Whoa.
You know? Yeah, our youngest competitive boxer now is 9 years old, you know. So we have different age. From as young as 6 years old, they come train with us on a Saturday, you know. It's fun. We have fun. We dance. It's not just boxing. We dance. We play games. We play music, you know. Like, it's just a best place to be.
It's home away from home, as you said.
Home
So
away
if someone
from
is
home.
interested in it, where can they find Fight with Insights? Which platforms do they go to? Do they just show up? Do they need to send someone a message first? What is the case for signing into Fight with Insights?
Well, if you would like to come to Fight with Insight, the steps are very simple. Just come. You know, you're welcome. If you're looking for us on social media, you can check us on Instagram, Fight with Insight, Facebook at Fight with Insight. You can check us on our website. It's also Fight with Insight. If you feel like you live close, just come. We're here at Braamfontein, by the Children's Memorial Institute, opposite McDonald's. There's a McDonald's there. There's a BP garage there. So just come. It's a free space. You're welcome to come. You can just walk in, and we'll take you through the registration process.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a free gym. Absolutely free.
A home away from home, fostering discipline, resilience, and self-doubt, key skills that are part of boxing, but also key skills that every student needs to thrive in university. So perhaps you should consider this alternative positive outlet that packs a punch. That's all we've got for you today, but don't worry, I'll catch you in the next one. And always remember, innate ability matters, but consistent effort yields success.